and Moon Esports have lost the knife round, so they will be starting out on the T side.
This is the real test. Are they prepared for Nuke? Do they have that same depth? Do they have the read as well on what NKT could get up to? Well, slow lobby setup here for Moons, waiting for the utility to come in, and while they'll sit in front of the door on that CT side, Dobu does find the first guy, and as well finding a double just from outside the door position. So back to a 2-on-2, Annihilation trying to get the player going for the plant, but not realizing that it's safe and fair from heaven at the very least. Impression now dealt with, Annihilation a 1-on-2.
This will be the time to show that he is here to play, especially with the kind of pistols he was showing us towards the end of Inferno. Now, no one peeking at Moon Esports. Double peek forward. Annihilation's isolated, and now it's back to a 1-on-1. USP on the ground, available to switch out. Flashbang picked up as well, and Tun is running away from it. Bullets are running low. Annihilation, You better be careful. You need to pull out that reload, and soon, because you're missing your chance and you're missing the round. Moon, pistol secured.
Oh, man. I mean, Moon as well. Just, again, one of these heads-up plays where just tapping the bomb, making sure that nobody's going to swing from main as well, because they didn't have the players or the resources to cover everything. So just finding where those last two NKT players were and isolating one. I think Annihilation, even though he was, he got that first kill rather quickly, a little overconfident, perhaps.
Oh, side. That's a faster way to get over to a CT spawn than that, CT defense than that. But hey, he's fine with it. Molotov at his feet, and Zine will end up falling. Dobu and Impression coming in with the Deagles. Impression the only one to really connect, although he does lose out some of his legs for it. Dobu inside the smoke almost drops the bomb. Getting very dangerous here. Annihilation brought down. Estelle will be able to shut him down, and Dobu is all alone. Well, it all comes down to this, making sure that NKT's low buys do not end up biting them in the behind. That is going to be priority number one for Moon Esports. We saw a lot of that happening on Inferno. And that's what a lot of the reason why they ended up falling by the wayside a few times here and there. A little bit lackluster play, a little bit of overperformance from NKT. It's a combination of both. Always difficult to tell with those low buys. When you see pistols getting headshots, sometimes you just can't do anything about it. Now, although they've got quite a lot of players over towards Secret, don't want to contend with what seems to be a stack. Lots of nades deployed, and with that, the information's given over, and they are in hot pursuit behind them. This train of CTs is going all the way, and it's going to find one to start things off. September forced to switch out to a Glock. There's AKs accessible, and now Fu's going to be trying to deny them, but realizes that is a fool's task. One picked up, the other. I'm actually not sure if the second player had an AK or not, but at least it is a gun that they can try and move forward to pick up. Still, going to be a tough time. Outside CT players pushing towards maybe just saving those weaponries instead. 2 AKs. A lot to take forward. Moon are able to close things out. That's very important for them. And Inferno, what we saw from them was losing out after that pistol round. And then in the second half, they got it forced by a victory of their own, but also at the same time weren't really able to convert it into anything more than that. What could have been a big point to start making a comeback, start mounting up the assault, didn't really work for them. Now, it's all about the NKT buy. The good thing for them is that with these saved AKs, they're going to be in a position where they can take a few more risks, where they can have a lot more utility, and where if they save into the next round, normally you're not going to have enough money for a buy, but with Kens and Dobu both saving up a lot of pocket money, This is going to be a good place you find yourselves in. Kenoit, though, going for a fast play out. He's got the rocks movement down, but they've already lost 2 players. It's too late. Zine as well now striking true. Kenoit needs to make his way into the bomb site, but a player on Raptors has got something to say about it. Not even needed. Zine with a big 3 kills, and that looked dangerous, and Zine was deadly. Fantastic stuff. You know, their strat relied so heavily on Kenoit being able to come in, but they're just not able to time it out at the same time, because Zine is just fighting them, fighting out the spam, fighting out the noise cues that they're sending forward for their mini player to have a little bit more room. Now Annihilation. He is fully prepared for anyone to come over from the squeaky door. Has ended up taking a lot of damage for his troubles, and Zine, the meanwhile, pushes forward. Estelle knows he's up close and personal, so he doesn't want to end up losing his life. Still no real control over towards outside or presence other than Annihilation's AWP, and even that's playing from CT spawn, so there's a lot of commitment to this ramp position from CTs and maybe even from Ts as we lean forward. 4 smokes mean that they've still got a lot of maneuverability about what they want to do, and it does look like Tun is lining up for some utility on outside as well. This has got to be a fake, though. There's no way they're able to take control of this so easily with as few flashes as they have. Annihilation. That smoke goes down. That's a big gap in it. Oh, even with the pause coming out from September, 3rd smoke is too slow. As soon as September realized it, he stopped to try and make space for him to cross, but by the time the 3rd smoke comes in, it is way too late. Now Fu now waiting to try and move in. Zine still prepped up on top of the hut, flashes out 30 seconds. They're getting ready to eliminate any sort of A-site presence from the terrorists. NKT still not letting them move in, and ramp is covered off by Annihilation, but a silent drop down means 3 players ahead. Impression covering off. Great angle to find 3 kills for him, maybe lining up, but Tun trades, and Estelle is there as well. Bomb cannot be planted. 10 seconds, and they manage to get it past, but there's the player on the other side. Double doors eliminated, but the bomb, it's too late.
Yeah, no more time to make this work, and Kent will find the finishing kill. Great job there from NKT getting down towards that lower side just as Moon were trying to get themselves into safe enough positions to plant, but they didn't have the utility as well to section off all those angles, so a little difficult. I have to say, with the way that things have started off already, the idea that Moon as well could have just continued to build on that pressure applied to that CT economy could have done a whole lot for him, but just on pistols and Impression came in front of the smoke. Oh, so damn easy. Everyone jumping around, hoping to dodge out in the headshots, but Impression doesn't need headshots when he's got the A1S right in front. It's an ace, a full one at that, and Moon can do nothing to stop it. 3-3 apiece.
Moon's also again in that position where their economy isn't the best in the world, and they're going for full AKs, so you can see only 1 Molotov, and with how often Zine has been playing in these tricky positions like CT Vent, where you really do want that Molly to clear it out, it's going to be interesting to see where they deploy it.
Well, outside seems to be the call. Secondary smoke will be a little late to allow the cross in its entirety, but the flashes did deter Dobu from getting a sightline in. Molotov as well at the top side of the steps at Secret. Delaying further and further. A smoke from Zine as well. So, not a whole lot of room. And Dobu's picked up the bomb at the back. Oh, God. That was the last one to cross?
Classic mistake. And they are able to recover it, but at the price of giving up information. Yeah, all of us are actually here, guys. Should be interesting to see how they really end up fighting this one forward. Boosting up to try and take a peek into tunnels is cute and all, but Zine is still around the corner. Second boost will be spotted. Zine sees that barrel. He is playing perfectly, finds himself one, backs off. Kent is lining them up, but he can't knock him down. Instead, left up to Annihilation. Quickly finds Septi, a shot through the wall. A second almost connecting, but not quite. Kenoit is playing with fire, and he will escape unscathed.
Limited chances, and they tap Zine right out of position, but Dobu coming in from the ramp position as well, unforeseen, unexpected. They thought they might have had enough room to plant. Kenoit now a 1-on-2 and 30 seconds to chew off.
He has to find the initial 1v1, and he's gone for the right play. Impression, however, is expecting it, and Kenoith can't react. Not in time, at least. 4-3, and Moon's money is down in the doldrums.
So close. And you could see just how dangerous, even with them having that information that so many had crossed towards secret, they have to be very present of the idea as well. They can just double back, try and reflank or re-aggress towards main or outside. So it couldn't just commit all the extra players as well to make sure that lower side didn't get overrun. Pistols out for Moon, door blown open, smoke down as well, see if they can sneak their way down the vents, but it's all very covered. And Impression actually pushing alongside the Annihilation Orb.
Yeah. Oh, Kents has found 2, Kents has found 3, and turns out Impression's push is unnecessary. You know, Michael, at times like this, sometimes I even tell my players if they're pushing, just don't push. Do it again next round. Hopefully they want to figure it out that you did it the previous.
Yeah. Like even if you're maybe gonna miss out on a kill or two, that way they don't see in like the death cam or something as well, right? Saying like, oh yeah, they're a close radio anyway, so we should have been very aware of that. But if it's not spotted, don't show it. I think that's a good mindset to have. But players like running around, salvaging weapons, and just generally moving, having fun rounds.
Yeah.
Not robots.
Not since the Stralis stopped having an error, at least. Quick double again. NKT just looking crisp right now. They can push in whatever they want to, Michael, even if they did in the previous.
Yeah, the good news was that they got Naofu down the vents. So, I mean, he's down there. He's just chilling. He's hoping somebody joins him from the CT side.
I mean, they did try. They just went a little bit too deep, you know?
I see.
Down under didn't exactly mean in the vents for them. Flashbang for Dobu could be beautiful if that's what they're planning on lining up.
I mean, Dobu should just get shot in the side of the head, so...
I mean, it depends on who... is the Flash coming first or is Naofu coming first? Well, I think we've got our answer.
Oh my god!
What? He's done it! He's gone and done it, even now with utility in Tun's hand! Naofu! Oh my god! He's gonna be having nightmares about that one!
He's 1 in 7. That could have been number 2. And it should have been. It really should have been. Dobu had no business winning that fight. Took an extra second to react, but I mean, who wouldn't? It's on the... It's very peripherals. It's a small little head poking up. This guy played whack-a-mole.
Okay. Alright. Listen, man, Dobu's feeling himself now. When Dobu gets in the zone, yeah, there's very little you can do to stop him.
Naofu, now do you see round number 11? Yeah, actually, that's
great segue.
The perfect segue, in fact.
Oh yes, indeed.
Forbidden martial arts. Whatever I just did to butcher the English language. Well, round number 11, that was only a Deagle half investment, so whatever. Annihilation gets a few kills with the AWP. Good to know that he's as well, like, keeping a steady hand on some of these shots. He has been flustered, I think, in a few areas, but I don't think his confidence is ever strayed from him. And Zine, oh my god, I've never seen him make so many steps, but Kenoith, I don't know that he has all that information because he was taking a fight of his own at the time.
Oh, Zine, no, Zine, oh, Zine! He's got himself 2 even after he spotted out. Still a 2-on-3, so NKT don't quite have the advantage here. Naofu, oh no, not again. Dobu just keeps on getting the better of the ball. Dobu's got 2, looking for 3, but Kenoith, all that happens is his position is revealed. Impression to push inside that one-way smoke, but Kenoith will have to come through with the big 4.
Oh,
God.
It's a big sigh of relief that Kenoith was able to win that 1v1, and the fact that they had information on where Impression was last positioned, because if not, then things would have likely sort of spurred on from the fact that Dobu got those 2 kills. things will turn up Moon Esports anyway. Very close to, I think, the benchmark of what you want on the T-side rounds. 5-6, I think, is more than acceptable.
Problem is, they started off up 3-0, and momentum is a thing, yes.
Mm-hmm. It's just all about perspective, really.
This is where it really helps if you lie to yourself and say, guys, we were down 7-0, now we're 7-4. I'm telling you, Michael.
Yeah, that's just changing time, actually. And, like, not an accurate representation of events that have happened.
AKA lying to yourself.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like you just want to do, like, small ones. Like, you know what? You don't need to go to the gym today. I mean, maybe you should. Maybe you shouldn't. Oh wait, that's just me. My bad. I'm projecting again.
45 seconds, and Moon Esports have 3 flashes to try and enter ramp with. This is going to be a troublesome one, especially if the smoke ends up being deployed by Impression. Doesn't look like he wants... well, scratch that thought. Here you go. Smoke down, and he is going to be trying to play off, but a quick kill is all he really wants. But with September having a knife in his hand, Impression's up for more. Why not? Looking for 3. Now Fu this time will not flub it, although is quickly traded out regardless. Seems like Goku's the one who will always get his number.
Dude, that's so crazy as well. Like, the fact that the Impression is willing to make these plays, it's really punishing the fact that I think Moon aren't quite as aware as to what they could get up to. These sort of greedier moves that are used around sort of like on-the-fly utility. That's Impression just seeing how much he can get away with, and he punishes them fully for it. Like, the fact he makes that move as well made them think that there was nobody down the lower site that they had to be worried about. Because, I mean, Dobu's back at the site. He could have just fallen back and sat pretty, but he wants more. He has got other plans. This Impression is just playing and fighting and standing his ground over at ramp, but he does lose out. A 1-for-1. But they get access to hell, and Kens is keeping an eye on it.
I don't know if that's access, Michael. I feel like, oh, well, actually, with that kill...
It is access.
It is. Before that, it felt like a trap. Dobu's still keeping an eye out. Ton is gone. Good thing for Nafu is, this time Dobu can't be the one killing him. Oh.
Doesn't stop him from killing his teammates, though.
Yeah, man, he's having a game. 15-5. Second only to Impression, 16-6. Genoid all alone.
Oh my god. Everywhere he looked is like the next second there was a person there.
NKT are so brazen.
Well, he died to bullets as opposed to a knife. I think there was a player coming up the ladder at the same time, so a little... Could have been worse, I suppose. It's all about perspective.
I don't think I like this perspective of yours, Michael.
Yeah, probably not. Malfu's got the AWP, though. 2 kills so far, sitting in a Molotov, and cooked. All right. Where's Kenoid? Can he get his hands on it? I don't think so, because he's on top of main. There is at least a kill in response, and they had no idea that this main player was there in the first place. Kenoid now trapped at the very, very lonely box, and gone. Obliterated.
Never seen that box look so lonely. Back to a 3-on-3, despite a couple of angles being overlooked by NKT, they are still solidly positioned. Is Impression in lower? No, he's not okay. Or is he? Man, I swear, I get so
You've got such a useful HUD that shows both the upper and the lower side.
Yeah. I might have just... Okay, you know what? You know what? That's just rude, Michael.
You've got such a lovely HUD.
You're right. God. Well, I can see they've got the lower bow side now.
Yes, they do. Yes, and there was nobody there to defend it, in fact. NKT didn't even consider it as a possibility. And now that they have realized that it is B, they are trying to swarm to the hive like bees.
Estelle's going to keep it. Oh, what a sharp shot on design. Quickly closes out the doors, but the grenade's going to reveal that he's still here. They know where Kent is, and although he finds the first, doubling up inside the observation room is looking to be a surefire recipe for success in this 2-on-1. Tense with a smoke down can try and fake this stick, but it won't matter. It still ends up eliminating him. Michael, I've got a real explanation about why I ignored the second part, which is that I recently found out that in Counter-Strike, based off of a 1.6 thing, there's like a small arrow that comes up on a player depending on whether he's higher than you or lower than you, which I never knew about before. So I was looking for that arrow, and then I realized that the HUD doesn't have it, so I was very confused. And then I remembered that we've got 2 levels when you pointed it out. Well,
There's some legacy there, at least.
indeed.
Last round of the half, and another position where they've got this SMG out, I think, by choice as well. And Kenoith could have afforded up a better gun if he decided to, but all about the pace. I can appreciate that.
Yeah. There's definitely some places in Nuke where you want to have that MAC-10, especially if you're trying to get a vent dive in or quickly out through ramp and distract out an AWP or something on those lines. Problem is, AWP's open playing towards ramp and a vent dive has not been called, so all that's really left for that MAC-10 is maybe death now that he's so low. Never mind. I was going to say a hut rush, but
I don't think he has a lot of bargaining power to offer a swap. They've not got a lot of control of anything else, so A kind of feels like the necessity here.
it was on the lower bomb side, so I mean, the problem is he can still go up vent so quickly as long as Sign is still alive, and they don't have that many Molotovs. They will end up deploying one for him, and as he swings out, he'll wait just a little while so he can try and make it at least one. Estelle in September, though, with the entries, they're going to keep things even. With Impressions rotation back, Annihilation's already gone. September's position might be known, but it doesn't matter. He is lethal anyway. Dobu. And a 1-on-3. Very difficult to really get anything accomplished here with the player inside mini. Estelle keeps an eye out for him. Dobu doesn't check the angle. It is 6 secured for Moon, and they're very happy with that. We're going to be back after a short break to see whether they can take it all the way.
Welcome back. It is the second half of our final map in the series, Moon Esports and NKT. They both won their respective map picks of Overpass for Moon, NKT, Inferno. NKT definitely had a point to prove on that secondary map. Now moving into their T side, we talked a lot about this being a strong map for NKT. Got to show that strength as well to kick things off. Ton on top with the dualies, getting the first 2 kills, but Annihilation and Dobu do find 2 pieces right back here for NKT, and they're looking for that flank. They're sussing it out so quick. Kenoith dealt with, Estelle as well dropped, and only Naofu on 17 HP as it's whittled away from him to try and contest, and he can't. There's just too many players to deal with. NKT take this pistol in a burst of flurry into this A bomb site. Very difficult for Moon to find the right ways to react after that, especially after Ton got those first 2 kills. Somehow thought that the rotates were going to get there in time and provide the extra oomph, the extra firepower, but wasn't to be.
Yeah, that extra oomph and firepower has been missing for a while, unfortunately, but have to wait to see. Maybe this is the chance for them to try and turn things around, because NKT has gone for a fast ramp call, and Tun's on the right side. Remember, he was the MP9 savior, but maybe not quite twice over.
Well, be it is, and down ramp they go. NKT not hovering or recommitting or rethinking this at all. Kenoith, ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's oh, looked like it was lined up, but just a little bit too much variance in that spray towards the end. Dembo traded out, and Kenoith does find one in the back lines, makes this a little bit more interesting with a flashbang picked up as well. Now down to Secret, Dobu's forced out. They're trying to get aggressive and prevent Naofu from moving in. Annihilation's cover will keep Dobu secure, and now it's all about playing with the doors. Naofu all alone as Estelle's gone down. He will be joining them in the afterlife.
Nice sets of kills from Annihilation. Gets 4 in that round. Just securing and refighting with alongside his teammates for so many of these different choke points. Was very, very mobile. I do expect that should this first gun round go askew, I'm not sure that we've seen Moon have that extra element unless NKT dramatically change up their playstyle, because they are just kind of forcing these fights, let's say, and running right into the meat grinder. Too many pistols on this bomb site, and one more player that they did not expect, but still finding the man advantage.
Problem is, I think you're not supposed to put live beasts into the meat grinder, Michael, and that's what NKT is fight back and break it. Naofu, actually, just noticed, has had a continuing, rather, his poor performance, unfortunately. Of course, he had a pretty decent overpass, to be honest, but not so much in the previous 2.
Things have been a struggle, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. It's very, very typical that Moon actually have like a very low kill disparity. But sometimes certain things stick out. And that can happen.
Just checking up on overpass. He had a solid 22 kills as well. And yeah, but just sometimes you're quite down in a series, you can't quite get the number, and I think that's exactly what we saw from him, especially when like that Dobu kill went by the wayside. Just a little bit of that
it can be easy
tilt.
to get into your own head. I think that's reasonable. Hopefully not the way that the rest of the story goes here for Moon in this series. They've certainly put up a fight. We kind of talked about the idea that there could be an upset, there was the potential for it. But Naofu now on the guns, not looking the right way. They run out hut and they get every single one. It's just lambs to a slaughter.
That's just perfect. That's a perfect call for the A side execute right as the full buy-up's coming out, right as Moon Esports is probably going to be pulling out their ops, pulling out everything over there, getting in position, and you've got those Mac 10s, you've got Balloons maybe, yeah.
They're not for pre-Molotovs bought either for the A-site players, which sometimes does feel like it's just a commitment you have to make. Make sure you can get into all the positions you want on that A-bomb site. Went for A1Ss, and utility sometimes so valuable. Kenoith can't get away with his AWP though. I mean, that's a positive to hold. But NKT are also so close to the finish line.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? This is Force Spy. I don't hate it, because I do think a 6-14 lead is too much to fight back against. But you're going to be in a rough spot, that's for sure. Especially if now this is the time where NKT start to slow down and start bleeding out the CT utility. This would be some real tough times. And they're even going for the fast play over towards, the point, because there's a gap in the smoke. Only an MP9 on the other side isn't the best weapon of exploiting it.
Yes, now we see some tactics from NKT. Oh, Zayn, pretty loud down the vent, so I think he was supposed to be sneaky, but I don't think anyone's really reacted. Ken was, I think, realized that was a possibility quite a long time ago. Now the decon door has been opened, Zayn's playing mind game.
Flash is dodged out, Kent just moves in, and Nafu is destroyed.
Keno is very trapped. Doesn't know which way to peek forward. Ramp's exposed. The B-bomb site has a player on it. And he's gonna just not see anybody, and everyone else has died around him. Finally, someone obliges. He was holding for aggression somewhere, and it finally comes, but at the expense of a round.
I might be wrong, but I think Annihilation's had more kills with a pistol while he's had an AWP bot than with the AWP itself.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Guy's good at hitting headshots. He's actually, I think, hit more no-scopes, in fact, as well.
Yeah.
I think scope shots, but that's, yeah, a dwindling statistic. Hell, when they're styling on them like this, I don't really have any complaints. Right now, NKT are simply outperforming them.
You're playing for overtime from this stage. What choice do you really have? Impression and Dobu dropping down. The A site's already been taken up. It really does look like it's just an afterthought for NKT. Nothing else.
And maybe we should consider hitting the A-bomb site. And next round, we're going to hit the A-bomb site. And then we're going to run out and we're going to hit the A-bomb site. I think NKT right now are just running with how they're feeling about certain moves, certain picks that they want to get first. And then they've got 2 or 3 players behind them to just fulfill that to its entirety. So, yeah, I think right now, NKT, it does just look a little... like there's a weight alleviated off their shoulders. I imagine after the first map, considering how many overtime, like the fact it went to overtime, and then Moon snuck it by them, there would have been a little bit of doubt, a little bit of fear, but no longer. Clutches sold the clutches they want.
Yeah, that's a nice try. So I'll give it that. Even if they end up losing a couple of players, there's so much money on the NKT side, they really don't care.
Yeah, it is unfortunately exactly how it is.
I appreciate that you avoided the it do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, but it do, 9 more rounds in a row. Unless we just have an abrupt close. Look at the speed. Zayn, the first one to push on in, and Keno has already dealt with another time that they've been caught in this Tetris position, and then that heaven rotate dealt with so quick. I mean, they just keep hitting the A-bomb site, and there's nothing that Moon can do to stop them.
I'm telling you guys, this is the kind of time when Michael wishes he was an IGL. Guys, I know what they're going to do. They're going to hit A. What are we going to do about it? Well, let's find out. Maybe the retake is on. It's a lot of utility damage, a little bit more follow-up. Yeah, this is looking like NKT are going to be looking to close things out. They are going to end up dropping overpass, sure, but Estelle... a 1-on-4 with this little time left and that little HP left. Players on all sides. He's just being played with right now. NKT are more than happy to let the clock wind out and down.